University of Missouri St. Louis College of Education podcast. Hello and welcome. My name is David Stouffer and I get to be the recruitment coordinator for the UMSL College of Education. Each week on this podcast, we will meet an innovator in the field of education. We will spend some time getting to know them and learning about their work and how it can help you in yours. It is my sincere hope that this podcast will be a source of encouragement and support as you work to continue impacting lives as an educator. My guests today are Dr. Ellen Duncan and Princess Davis, co-directors of the UMSL College of Education Teach in 12 Alternative Certification Program. We're going to dive into the details of this incredible opportunity for professionals to gain their certification through Teach in 12. But first, I'd like to get to know our guests. So, Dr. Duncan, if you wouldn't mind, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at UMSL.
So, hey, Dave. So with me, first of all, just Ellen is fine. I am a retired middle school and high school social studies teacher and administrator. And since I'm working with university students, once you're out of high school, I don't need the doctor in my title anymore. So it's just Ellen. So I'm Ellen Duncan. Like I said, I'm a retired educator. And my role in the Teach in 12 programs, I'm an academic advisor. And what I do is I help students navigate the Teach in 12 program as well as other academic programs at UMSL. And it is a pleasure to be on this podcast.
And do you miss the snow days, Ellen?
Terribly. Terribly.
Princess Davis, if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself and your role at UMSL, please.
Hi, I'm Princess Davis. I am an academic advisor for the College of Education. I work with the Teach in 12 program. While I'm not an educator, I do have a passion for education administration. So that's where my background comes in. I've been working in this industry about almost 12 years off and on now. So it's my heart, my love, and it's what I strive to do always.
Excellent. Yeah, if I've learned anything in my brief stint at UMSL, we're all educators to be sure. So everything that you guys do, everything that our advisors do, just as important as anything our faculty do or anything our students are doing. So you guys do great work. So, well, let's dive into the conversation. I'm really interested in hearing your what you guys have to say about our Teach in 12 program. So, Dr. Duncan, if you wouldn't mind, take us through what is Teach in 12. Give us a little brief baseline understanding of what the Teach in 12 program is.
So the Teach in 12 program is a graduate level teacher certification program. So it's for people who already have an undergraduate degree. You do need to have at least a 275 grade point average. And with it, it leads to Missouri teacher certification. It is a graduate program. So with just a handful more of classes, you can get a master's degree with this program as well. It is approved by the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. So it's a guaranteed program. You get through the program, meet the requirements, then you do get teacher certification. It is titled Teach in 12, but it's really not Teach in 12. It's really Teach in 15 is the fastest track. It's 3 semesters and a summer of coursework. And the areas of certification we offer through this program are elementary education, which is grades 1 through 6. And then we've got several grade 9 through 12 secondary education certification tracks. So you could get certification in math, chemistry, biology, physics, English, Spanish and French, and social studies. And then we also have some kindergarten through 12th grade certifications, and those are art, music, and PE. So you can get your certification in all of those different areas. Like I said, the fastest track is really Teach in 15, 3 semesters in a summer. But it is a fast path to teacher certification. Add a few more classes, you got that master's degree.
Now, how long has UMSL had this program in existence? Are you aware?
We're with cohort 7 with this. So this is the 7th year of the program. So it is a well-established program. It's a really great program for people who are working. And, we have the flexibility with most of our courses are online. So this has been an online program for 7 years. It's not something that with COVID, we suddenly moved it online. These classes are very well developed. We are constantly making changes and tweaks to meet the needs of current educators and what they need as teachers, while also meeting state certification requirements.
So this is not a program that someone's going to need to quit a job and take classes, all day and all week long. It's designed to work around a person's work schedule.
It is for the first 2 semesters in summer. That final semester, you do have practicum too, because this class or this sequence of classes does involve you doing your practicum experience. So that final semester, we strongly recommend you not try to work and do practicum too, which is 4 days a week, full semester at a local school. But up to that point, you can work and do this program. It is something that we've got some flexibility built into it with that online coursework, that is a very real possibility. And most of our students do. We used to have a caveat that said, don't try to work and do this. It's a very involved graduate level program. Well, people like groceries and having, their rent and bills paid. So, yeah, just about everybody is working and going through this program at the same time.
Now, you mentioned the 2.75 requirements. I think I heard you say that you have to have a bachelor's degree in order to be qualified for the program. Are there any other prerequisites that someone has to do or complete in order to get into the Teaching 12 program?
It depends on what certification you're seeking. With art, music, and PE, there are some specific classes that we want to see that you've taken so that you do have background in what it is you want to teach. For the secondary education coursework, we want to see a background in what it is you want to teach. But for elementary education, any degree, any undergraduate degree that you have from an accredited university, you could enter that program.
Okay, great. So you don't
the
have
big thing
to have...
The big thing is come see us, come talk to us.
Gotcha.
Zoom, phone, in person, we will, Princess and I will talk you through what you need to do for this program.
Gotcha. So you don't have to have a degree in biology to be a biology to get your biology certification through Teaching 12. You can have any degree program and go into whatever certification path you want to, as long as it's offered.
We do want to see that your content area. We don't want to send you up for your practicum experience and you're teaching English and you're talking to the department chair because you might want to teach in that school and she's asking you about great works of literature and you're like, but I have a student who is a biology teacher, currently came through the program, has an undergraduate degree in psychology, but he spent several years working in the field as a field scientist, doing data collection for the National Park Service of all things. I've got somebody with the geology degree that's teaching physics. Well, a lot of geology is applied physics. People in communications can go into English. So it's really talk to us. Talk to us about what makes sense for you.
Excellent. Thank you, Ellen. Princess, I'm interested in hearing from you. Why do we need something like Teaching 12? Can't these students just take classes like everybody else? What is so unique about this program and why do we need this?
Teaching 12 is important because it speaks directly to the needs of Missouri. In December 2021, DESE reported that there's a 5% shortage for FTE educators when you average all content areas. And the most heavily impacted areas are special education, elementary education, and early childhood. So programs like Teaching 12 that allow students to have an accelerated pathway towards reaching that goal rather than having to go back and get a whole other bachelor's degree help us to fill that gap in the state of Missouri. It's also really good for people who've always wanted to be a teacher, but maybe, life has kind of led them in another direction. Or we have those retirees who want to do something, they still want to keep working in their community and make an impact. So Teaching 12 is here to serve that need, to help you transition from your former career into the education field and make you a very well-rounded and respected educator in your community.
I can speak to that because back in the early 90s, when I had been working in the fitness industry for many years and decided I wanted to go into education, my only option was to come back and become a full-time undergraduate student again. And it took me 2.5 years of taking full-time classes. I had to quit my job. I had to find part-time work around the schedule of the undergraduate degree program and go to school with students who were, between 5 and 10 years younger than me. as opposed to the Teaching 12 program now that exists, where it's designed for people exactly in the position I was in to continue working at least until the practicums and be able to get your degree in a very short period of time. So this is fantastic. Thank you, Princess. Dr. Duncan, Ellen, sorry. Talk a little bit about the type of person that might be a good fit for our Teaching 12 program.
I mean, the number one thing is that you've got to want to work with kids and to be in that school environment. I have a lot of people who, they're coming into the program. They knew when they were an undergrad they should have been a teacher, and then their life took a different path, and then they're like, yeah, no, I really should have been a teacher. So they come into Teaching 12 because they realize that they want to make a difference in the community and make a difference with students. Having spent a few decades in education now, I am a retiree working as an academic advisor because it's fun. It's something that working with kids day in and day out, the days can be awful. Okay. I'm not going to candy coat it. You're going to have some really hard days, but it's also that magic of working with kids and seeing their growth over time and building those relationships and just being in that school atmosphere and feeling like you're making a difference is just really, really an awesome thing. It is, and I know awesome's overused, but it's awesome. With that being said, as a hiring administrator, you want someone who's passionate about students and their learning. But with this program, it also lets you come in whether you are 22, 23 years old or you are 60. And it is a high quality program that you will get your teacher certification. You get to know your co-students, those people you're going through the program with. We also have great instructors. We do use adjunct instructors for these courses, people who are out in the field in education right now. So they know exactly what's going on in schools and what skills you need. It's a fantastic program for those who want to be teachers and who are coming to education, not through the traditional undergraduate route, but people who truly want to make a difference in our community and with kids.
I love that perspective. We want people in education that want to teach and want to be around kids. So thank you, Ellen. Princess, someone is listening to this podcast and they're working in a career. It's not going the way they think it should, and they've always thought about being a teacher. What should they do? What steps do they need to take to look into the program and hopefully join us at UMSL in the Teaching 12 program?
Come speak with us. We're here. We're always available. We host preview nights that you can RSVP for on our Teaching 12 website, as well as you can just stop by the College of Education and wander down our hallway. We're always here to help. As Ellen said earlier, everyone's pathway to certification is a little bit different. Maybe you don't have a degree in your content area, so we have to create a unique plan just for you. So yes, check out our website. Yes, go ahead and RSVP for the event, but more than anything, just connect with us. At UMSL, we want you to reach your goals, and we're going to do our best to help you get there no matter what. As Ellen said, this program does lead to the master's degree also in that accelerated time frame, and we will do our best to try to get you there as soon as possible.
Princess, I know I know this doesn't happen all the time, but I know that I've heard of students while they're in the Teaching 12 program and get to their last semester of practicums that there's occasions, and this speaks to the teacher shortage and how desperate districts are to find teachers in the classrooms. Some of our practicum students have actually been hired provisionally while they're finishing their practicums. Is that correct?
Yes, that is a nice caveat of the program. As Ellen said, students do work in the program, but there are clinical experience days that kind of limit your hours sometimes. So some of our star candidates in their final semester are allowed to be hired on as long as they have less than 12 credit hours to complete. We can issue out what's called a provisional. So that way you can be working and getting paid while you're completing your final student teaching hours. So it's really a bonus for our students.
That's awesome. And then as I understand it, each group starts and finishes at the same time. Is that correct?
Yes, the programs are heavily cohorted. Most of our programs run fall to fall. That will be our elementary and secondary education areas. However, our art and PE programs do start off schedule. They run spring to spring. We try our best to accommodate students that want to start off schedule because maybe they're just really excited and they want to get going right now. But we like to remind you that the program is cohorted. So if it's at all possible, we want you to start on schedule. But like I said, everybody's pathway to certification is different. So we will do our best to map it out uniquely just for you.
Fantastic. I wanted to leave time for you to share anything else that we haven't talked about yet that you think our listeners would benefit from. Ellen, is there anything else you wanted to talk about regarding the Teach in 12 program to make this beneficial for people thinking about becoming teachers?
I think the big thing is that, if you think you're interested in being a teacher, come talk to us, because it's something that we're really kind of translators. Teacher certification in the state of Missouri is a lot. It's a lot of tedious information, and Princess and I are in the weeds and working with this stuff all of the time. We're doing transcript reviews all the time. We're talking to students all the time. We're talking to our professors all the time. I mean, we really work very hard to translate this so that you know exactly what it is you need for teacher certification, what the time frame could be. Like Princess said, we customize programs for people as needed. We prefer you to go through the cohort, but we understand that personal circumstances, you might need to have an individualized program. We can totally work with that. But we are here to be helpful and to provide great information for you. So look on our website, RSVP to a preview night. If a preview night's not coming up, then just fill out the online form and we'll get back in touch with you for an appointment, because we want to talk to you about it.
That's great. Princess, anything else that you'd like to share?
The only thing I want to add is just saying thank you so much for having us today, David, and allowing us to share the good news about Teach in 12.
Absolutely.
And I'll echo that. Thank you for the work you do in really finding a unique and supportive way to help teachers become certified and districts to find good teachers. That's what I love about working at UMSL, is that we find the need and then we set up programs to help fill that need. So if you're interested in becoming a teacher, if you're working in a career, if you have a bachelor's degree, whether you've been in that career for 20 years or just starting out and you realize that you should have been a teacher all along, contact us, come speak with us, come to one of our preview nights. You can reach me anytime, and I can point you in the right direction. My contact information is 314-243-0773. Call that number anytime and I can get you connected to our Teach in 12 advisors. Ellen, Duncan, Princess Davis, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your work with the Teach in 12 program.
Thanks, Dave.
I am honored that you chose to join me today for the University of Missouri St. Louis College of Education podcast. I hope you'll join me next time. Till then, I'm David Stouffer. Thank you for the work you do. Never forget, you are making a difference every day.